Even smart people fall victim to faulty thinking, especially when it comes to science. Some try to use it to validate their spiritual beliefs, everything from astrology to a new age cosmic consciousness. Science and religion. They are very different, separate approaches to life's big questions. One involves evidence, the other, faith. People have been trying to connect these two worldviews for centuries.
There were enough pieces of evidence for them to sustain this idea that there's influence from the sky that is influencing what's happening on Earth.
People, past and present, try to bridge the divide by unlocking the clues they perceive in the universe. Whether it's the vastness of space or the microscopic world of quantum physics. Let's give this a shot. What is quantum physics?
Okay. That's probably the most difficult question to answer.
Pseudoscience is an attempt to diminish the uncertainty of life. But trying to read too much into the atoms or the stars is fraught with faulty thinking, and that can be dangerous. Understanding the elements of nature is key to survival. We try to decipher the world around us, everything from weather to finance. Humans seek patterns, and astrology is an attempt to analyze patterns and numbers of the universe to tell a story that charts our path forward. In earlier times, astrology and astronomy are sort of one and the same.
Depended on the context, so people who are reading a specific book or a text would be able to recognize whether you meant astrology as in like predictions about things using information from the sky, and astronomy, which was more observing what is actually just happening in the sky. So this is our storage area.
Dr. Katie Boyce Jacino is the curator at the Adler Planetarium.
Because astrology and astronomy are so closely connected, we have a lot of things that are actually astrological in nature.
She's developing an exhibit on the history of astrology, which also includes what we would call astronomy. This book is from 1494.
And then the back half of the book is a series of humorous horoscopes. So each of these characters is somebody who has something sort of wrong with them. This guy, he's having a bad day.
But a horoscope today would say, you are a strong person and you may meet a tall, dark stranger. What is this?
This is a little bit more like a birth chart. If you're trying to impress somebody, then your horoscope looks amazing. If you're trying to suggest that something bad is going to happen, your horoscope looks not so good.
Hundreds of years ago, astrology and astronomy are intertwined. This science of the stars is taught in universities. As a modern person looking at this, it seems strange that they were smart enough to understand the math and the science of it, and yet are still believing in this sort of weird supernatural element. How do you explain that?
The thing you have to understand is that for them, magic is real, magic is possible, because there are phenomena that can't be explained by our understanding of physics.
Another natural force is also permeating the desire for spiritual guidance, the field of quantum physics, the science of the very, very small. It seems mysterious because it's so seemingly unpredictable. Dr. Sadri Hassani is an adjunct professor of physics at the University of Illinois. He says the strangeness of quantum is the perfect illustration for some to argue that it's the source of everything supernatural. And what's wrong with that thinking?
It's baseless. Okay, I can say a dragon created the universe. Einstein, was furious. I mean, he hated mysticism. He hated any kind of association of non-science with science.
What surprises Dr. Hassani after all these years is the backstory of quantum. He says New Age gurus kidnap quantum physics to explain the supernatural mysteries of life. But it seems the pioneering scientist of quantum physics believed it too. The credit for the discovery goes back to the 1920s, a small group of scientists, including Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, Erwin Schrödinger, and Wolfgang Pauli.
Believe it or not, all four of them were mystics.
How do you explain that?
There is no explanation. They believed in, Eastern philosophy.
At one time, it even fools Dr. Hassani, who touches on this alleged connection between science and mysticism in a Gen Ed class he's teaching. So what is the fault in that thinking?
It's what we have now. I mean, disinformation, misinformation.
An oversimplification. But New Age gurus see this science validating their Eastern spiritual philosophy. During Vietnam, there's a renewed fascination with the Far East, and New Age gurus see an opening in the West.
There were a lot of people intellectuals who actually went to India, Japan, Philippines, and picked up ideas and then came back, and they became, Americans became gurus. The real motivation was, fame and fortune. That was the real motivation.
Deepak Chopra makes an industry of it. He writes dozens of books and makes a fortune.
It was a revolution in pseudoscience, really. A revolution in disinformation. It applied it to medicine, to healing, to the body.
Could there be negative consequences to believing in that?
Training the thought of the population to accept nonsense, that's very harmful.
The name of his book, Quanta in Distress, How New Age Gurus Kidnapped Quantum Physics. So let me ask, why did you write this book?
I get fooled. Imagine how many other people, out there are getting fooled. If you look at the whole population, it's very dangerous.
People mistake pseudoscience for actual science.
Science, as we understand it, is a methodological thing. It's something that we test. Pseudoscience takes all of the same language. It takes all of the same kind of trappings of authority. It doesn't apply any of that critical thinking to it. And it just imposes all of that vocabulary onto something that is really best described as like vibes and feelings.
Does everyone who shares the same birthday have the same love life or financial success? The gravitational pull of the North Star is less than that of a firefly outside your window. Nature can inspire. What may be more helpful than astrology is simply taking time from your hectic life on Earth to notice the stars above. A Pew poll released in 2025 showed the biggest believers in astrology are women ages 18 to 49.